All right, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick for this week's Breakout Watchlist from July 12th to July 16th. In this video, I'll be covering 18 stocks that have breakout potential in the upcoming week. Each of these stocks are in strong uptrends, have pulled back, tightened up, and are ready to break out again. We're always looking for the strongest stocks getting stronger, not weak stocks, not cheap stocks, because cheap stocks are typically cheap for a reason. In this video, I'll be covering a couple different types of setups, breakouts, and pullbacks. Right now, the market has been very, very choppy, especially for the growth stocks that I typically trade. So a higher probability trade would be getting in on a pullback, putting your stop below the low in that pullback, and staying in the trade a little bit longer. So we'll be covering a couple different pullbacks as well. Don't usually trade those, but we have to trade what the market gives us. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It helps me out tremendously. It doesn't cost you guys anything. Just a quick click on that thumb. Subscribe to the channel and follow me on all the social media platforms. I do post the most on StockTwits and Twitter. So on StockTwits, it's Stock Trick with Nick, and on Twitter, it's Stock Trick Nick there. If you're coming here for a specific setup, in the comment section will be timestamps for all the setups, so you can click right into there and get to what you want to see and ignore the rest. Quick disclaimer, anything that I talk about is not financial or stock advice. This is all for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before trading. Trading comes with financial risk. All right, here's our stock lineup for next week. We got 18 stocks for you, 4 of which will be in the week 28 vote of the TikTok Trading Challenge. So once you're done with the video, go to my Twitter account, StockTrickNick, and go vote on your favorite setup of these 4, AMR, JILL, RBLX, and ZDGE. All right, let's get to the charts. So first we have AMR. So pulling back here, we have a high tight flag, so 128% move up, pullback of only 16%. Now this I'm covering as a pullback, but this could be one where it trades sideways for about a week and then we pick it up next week as it's making kind of the right side of this pullback. But with Friday's candle, it was almost a inside candle, but it stayed above that 20-day simple moving average. It looked like it was coming under, closed under on Thursday, and then bounced on Friday. Remember Thursday we had that kind of wacky action where everything pulled back. So a possible pullback buy would just be a break over Friday's high of 24.25 on this one. It is definitely lighter traded, only 140,000 shares traded on Friday, so you have to correctly position size. You don't want to put a very large position size on and then get flushed out and not have your stops as tight as possible. So AMR, BCRX, and this is one that you guys can vote on. Next we have BCRX. I think this was on a breakout watch list earlier. I would need to check. Got going from the base here, 93% up, pullback of 14%. So really nice kind of base break, and now we're just pulling back on very light volume through here. This one, we have 3 daily highs right around the same price. So we bounced on Thursday, closed above that 8-day exponential moving average, and then stayed in the upper half of Thursday's candle. I'll just be looking for a break over 1664, the high on July 2nd, as a possible buy point for BCRX. Next we have CYH. This is a stock that I actually bought on Friday, but hasn't gotten too far away where it's still buyable in here. And one that I traded before, we had this cup, pulled back, set it in the handle, and I bought it the first time through here. It got out about 20%, sold some into strength, got stopped out on this pullback in here. Since then, it's setting up again, and we had 4 days right around the same price as a daily high, 1584, excuse me. So a break over that was my buy on Friday. But you could look to add to it with a break over 1620, the high from Friday, or add or start a position here. We did bounce at the 50-day moving average on Thursday when everything else flushed. Good to see buyers stepped in right there. And we're above the main part of the volume shelf right here, so very little resistance up top. CYH. Next we have DOMO. This is one that just didn't really form the right side of the base, just shot out here, up 57%. Since then, we have a 6% pullback, so very shallow pullback to the rising 20-day simple moving average. on Thursday, bounced, so good to see buyer stepped in right there. We had an inside candle above the 8-day exponential moving average on Friday. This is one where I would just be waiting for a break over Thursday's high, 84.56. Ideally, we have some sideways action, and we pick this up maybe Thursday or Friday, just so the range can tighten up and you could get a tighter stop loss than the low of Thursday, which would be 7%. We're always trying to find spots that we can get maybe half of our stop at 3%, half of it at 6%, so we can keep risk in check there. So that's DOMO. Next, we have EDRY, and this is a very, very thinly traded name. So we talked about this with AMR. You need to be conscientious of how much position size you are putting on this, but we had a 360% move up since kind of middle of April, pulled back only 31%, so doesn't qualify for that high type flag. 90% or more in 8 weeks or less, and then a pullback within 25% of the high. 31% is larger than 25%, so unfortunately it does not qualify for that. But I do like it. It looked like it was flagging out here, made a quick turn, and then flushed. So shook out all the traders that got in on the pullback, got in on the little breakout here. So stronger hands are left in this name as we bounced to the 20, pulled back, and then closed over it on Friday. I'm looking for a break over 28.48, the high from this pullback bounce, as a possible buy point. 28.48, again, very, very thinly traded name. Cautious with position size. GLBE is next. This is one that it looked like it was just going up forever, right? Never gonna sell off, up 170%. IPO pulled back 21%, so IPO high tight flag, you like to see that. We do have a downward diagonal as a possible buy point, and then I'm looking just a flat top breakout over the previous day's high. So looking at 56.68, the high from Friday as a possible buy point. This is another one where I would love to be patient on the name, let it pull back a little bit, let it trade sideways, pick it up Thursday or Friday with a tighter range as the 20-day moving average is continuing to run up here. So this was one that everyone was talking about as it was in that nice clean uptrend, never closed under the 8-day. I was being patient, waiting for it to pull back, tighten up, and it looks like we might get our buy spot this week with GLBE. Next, we have GSM. This is one that's just been in a clean uptrend. Might be a little bit early on it, but it's right near the high, which would be the buy point. Let's see. Is this a high type flag? 96%. No, I don't think. So a little bit short of the high type flag duration wise. You want that 8-week period to capture the 90%. But strong move, obviously, up here. We bounced at that 20-day moving average and then set up above the 8-day on Friday, looking for a break into all-time high, 643 as a possible buy point for GSM. Next, we have HAYW. This one is frustrating to me because I've traded it twice now. Made some money on the second trade and then got stopped for even as it was pulling back here. But this is one of those pullback buys that I'm talking about. There's an IPO with that. Let's see, let's measure it really quick. Highest move was 67%, flagged out, and now the 50-day moving average is catching up. We're in the main part of the volume shelf here. So a break over Friday's high, 24.58, would be a possible buy point. That would put you over the 20-day moving average. And then maybe you could split your stop, half of it 3% on Friday's low. The rest under Thursday's low would be 4.5%. So you get around a 4% stop on that. Good risk reward, HAYW. Next we have JILL. This is one that I've been watching for a while now. I missed this breakout through here as this flagged out. And I mean, this is what the market's been. It's been breakout, everyone's selling off. We're seeing these large upper wicks, and then we got a flush, and buyers stepped in, and this tightened up again. So I should have measured this first for you guys, but 254% up, massive, massive up, down 23%. And then we did have this nice flush on Thursday. Let's see, what was that wick? So we pulled back, 10% really quickly, and then moved higher on Friday higher highs, higher lows above all the key moving averages. Another thinly traded name, so you got to be careful with position sizing. But I'm just looking for a break over Friday's high, 21.31 as a possible buy point. And just like we saw with the kind of false breakout here, I will be quick to take profits into strength if it does get moving. JILL. Let's see, KNBE, and we are halfway through the list, so if you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like. It helps me out so much. It keeps YouTube pushing it out to new traders and other people that are interested in it. So, and if you have any stocks that I'm not covering today that I should be looking at for next week, drop them in the comment section below, because I'm helping you guys prepare. I would love to be as prepared as possible for next week as well. All right, KNBE is next. This is one, IPO, high tight flag, so moved up 100%, pulled back. Actually, a little bit long of a pullback, 27% instead of that 25, but I mean, it does the job. It did have this nice turn around the 20-day moving average. That could have been buyable through here. I didn't buy it because, okay, let's measure this. We got out from that buyable position, 13%, and then it came all the way back and another 3% back. Once something goes out 13%, I'm probably moving my stop to entry, so I'm getting shaken out of that trade anyway. It's been a tough trading environment. So right now we have two daily highs at the same price, 33.64, 33.60, so a break over 33.64 is a possible buy point. Similar to a couple of the names that we mentioned, I would love like one candle here, and then a breakout on Thursday. That would be the ideal setup, or on Wednesday, whatever. That would be the ideal setup if we gave this some more time. KNBE. Next we have NVST. This is one that is just trading extremely tight. You have the 8 exponential, 20 simple, 50 simple, all right at the same price, tightening up around that volume shelf. So a low risk trade would be buying a break over Friday's high, 43.76, and then putting your stop kind of below some of the lows there. You got 3% and then, 4% to this lower wick. So a low risk trade on a stock that's been tightening up after, a very clean uptrend, which is nice to see. NVST. Next we have PCOR. IPO bounced, 22%. And then we have 4 days high right at the same price, 96.05, 96, 96, 96.06. So a break over Friday's high, 96.06 would be a possible buy point. This is another thinly traded name as well, and not one with as much power, just an IPO that I would take a look at. PCOR. PRCH is next. PRCH. This is one that is starting to make the right side of the base after pretty strong pullback. Let's measure that. 52%. I don't usually love taking trades that have pulled back over 50%. 52% is okay. Got out, pulled back, and yeah, I'm not going to be taking a break off the low on trades that have pulled back 52%. I wanted to build the right side of the base here. Got the 20-day simple moving average holding up. Did get that nice flush on Thursday, so anyone who was kind of raising their stops through here got stopped out. All the weaker hands out. Now we have a 2-day pivot. I don't know if I would take it right off this 2-day pivot to 1952, 1951, right around there. That might be where you need to take it to keep a low risk stop. 5% would get you only halfway down the wick there. Maybe one that kind of breaks through there, and then we take it with a break over 2030. Probably one that I'm just going to keep on a watch list, not trade myself, but PRCH maybe works for your setups. Now we have maybe the most popular name on the list, RBLX, Roblox. This is one of the IPOs that was like the first one to really take off since the market bounced. Had that 62% move up, and then anyone that was chasing here got stopped out because it pulled back 25%. That's aggressive pullback, but bounced right at that 50-day moving average. Buyer stepped in, good to see. Moved up, pulled back again, bounced on that Thursday flush. We gapped down, Buyer stepped in right away on Thursday, pushed it to the 8 and the 20-day moving average. Friday's candle in the upper half. So nice to see this is tightening up. You can see average true range, ATR, that measures the daily candles. So as this is coming in, price is getting tight, and we could get a tighter stop loss on our entry. I would be looking for a break over Thursday's high, 88.05 as a possible buy point, and then a stop under Friday's low, 3.5% on that. If this continues kind of building off to the right side, tightens up even better, we could take a look at it in the second half of the week. All right, 4 more for you. SKIN. This was on a watch list that I posted on StockTwits earlier, but not on a breakout watch list video. We had a 98% move up and then pulled back 16%, had this nice flush. So as it looked like it was flagging out here and starting to tighten up, we did get a quick move over and then reversed, flushed that, shook out all the weaker hands in that pullback, and then just ripped off the lows there, had a 21% move up. I totally missed that. That's fine because we got a very, very low volume pullback to the 8-day exponential moving average inside candle on Friday. So I'm taking a break over Friday's high, $19 as a possible buy point, and then a stop under a couple of their lows would be 3.8%. A stop under the 20-day simple moving average would be 5%. So low risk entry on a quick pullback after a flush and go. SKIN, high tight flag. Next we have TDC. This is one that I've been watching for a while, but I never found a good place to trade it. Got out on a ton of volume, then had this massive pullback, 37% pretty quickly too. Flagged out, gapped up, and then gapped right back down. Things have been kind of sporadic here, but you can see we're starting to tighten up through here. We had that good flush on Thursday under the 50-day simple moving average, reversed, closed right at the high of the day, continued that action on Friday, moving higher over the 8-day exponential moving average. I'm looking for a buy over, I think this is Tuesday's high, 49.69 as a possible buy point on this one. TDC. VTNR is next. This is one that had been on a previous watch list. We had that nice orderly sell-off to the 20-day simple moving average, a quick pullback under that, and then got out on heavy volume, really strong move. What was that candle? 21% in that candle. Continued on and then gapped higher. And then once we got that gap higher, I mean, I'm not chasing this move, but I'm putting alerts lower, so when it does pull back, I'm ready for a possible pullback buy. Let me hide some of the volume there so you can see how light the volume has been in this pullback. So from the high to the low in the pullback, 31%, but on an extremely light volume compared to the breakout, which is really, really good to see. Inside candle on Friday, so I'm looking at a break over Thursday's high, $10.95, maybe call it $11 even as a possible buy point on this one, VTNR. And last we have ZDGE. This is the fourth that you guys can vote on, a trade that I took a partial entry on Friday just to kind of get into a name as it pulled back to the 20-day simple moving average, but this really had it all. A 99% move up, a pullback of 20%, so high tight flag there. We had that flush on Thursday, then rallied all the way back up over the moving averages. And then on Friday, very little volume as it closed under the 20-day moving average, but very little volume, basically right at it. What I would be looking at is a possible buy or add spot would be a break over Friday's high, which is the same as Wednesday's high, 1850 there. Maybe you can add on with a break over Thursday's high as well, 1885, but because the market's been so choppy, we're trying to get in as low as possible so we can keep our stop losses below some of the daily lows. And to do that reasonably, you have to enter on a break over Friday's high. All right, that is going to be the breakout watch list for the week. We had 18 stocks for you. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on all the social media accounts. And if you want 2 free stocks with Webull, the first one, when you sign up, you'll get a stock between $3 and $300. And then if you just deposit $5, you'll get another stock between $8,000 and $2,000. I took advantage of this offer. I really like Webull's charting as well. It's very similar to E-Trades that I showed on today's channel or today's video. So they have really stepped up with their technical analysis tools, and I use them for some longer term investments. So give that a check, link in the description for that, and I'll see you guys during the week for another finance video later. All right, have a great trading week.